The council chamber erupted in chaos as Darian sprinted down the central aisle, Thera close behind. Security drones converged from multiple entrances, but they had timed their arrival perfectly. The full session was underway with representatives from all 37 species present. "This proceeding is closed," bellowed Arbiter Colvin, neck folds flaring crimson with rage. "Remove them immediately." "Every delegate has the right to hear evidence of corruption within this chamber," Darian shouted, his voice amplified by the architectural acoustics. He raised the data crystal above his head. "I have proof that Ambassador Knox was framed to conceal illegal mining operations on Veridia." The security drones hesitated. Their programming conflicted between removing intruders and respecting diplomatic protocols during formal sessions. "This human has no standing," Colvin insisted, but murmurs spread through the assembled delegates. The reptilian Saxic assistant moved toward them, but was interrupted by Councillor Gennaro's measured voice. "The Thashan delegation invokes Article 17 of the Concordat Charter, requesting immediate examination of new evidence in an ongoing case." As the chamber's attention focused on this procedural challenge, Darian connected the crystal to the central projection system. Holographic displays illuminated the chamber with damning financial records, falsified documents, and ecological impact projections. Ambassador Knox was targeted because her family's environmental oversight would have detected the mining operations, Darian explained. Premier Vax collaborated with Arbiter Colvin to eliminate this obstacle and bypass Concordat profit-sharing requirements. Colvin's security forces began moving forward again, but froze as Thera stepped to the center platform. Her azure skin glowed with intensity, her voice resonating with cultural authority. "I stand before you not just as myself, but as 8 generations of environmental stewards," she declared. "My ancestors died protecting our sacred forests during the Cataclysm Wars. I was raised to believe the Concordat represented our highest ideals of cooperation and justice." Her gaze swept the chamber, connecting with delegates from multiple species. "Look at the evidence. The very leaders entrusted with upholding our laws conspired to desecrate my homeworld for profit. If they succeed, what world will be exploited next? Whose representative will be falsely condemned when convenient?" Throughout the chamber, delegates began conferring urgently with their teams. The Morvian representative, a species known for their unwavering ethical standards, stood ponderously. "The Morvian Collective demands immediate investigation of these allegations by an independent commission." Other voices joined in support, creating a groundswell of procedural motions that even Colvin couldn't ignore. As the Arbiter attempted to reassert control, his Saxic assistant slipped away through a side entrance, the first desertion of many to come. When security finally approached to remove them, 6 different species representatives formed a protective circle around Darian and Thera. The human diplomat reached for her hand, finding her cool fingers intertwined with his. "Whatever happens next," he said quietly, "I don't regret any of it." Her silver-flecked eyes met his. "On my world we have another concept, Eshalava, the bond formed when 2 souls face danger together." As the council erupted into procedural chaos around them, Darian felt something profound shift between them, something that transcended their biological differences and diplomatic roles. 3 months later, Darian stood on the observation deck of the council's newly established Ethics Commission headquarters. Through the panoramic window, Capital City sparkled beneath the setting of twin suns. The investigation had expanded far beyond initial expectations, uncovering corruption across multiple sectors and species. "Admiring the view," Thera's melodic voice preceded her approach. Her official Veridian diplomatic robes had been replaced with the silver-trimmed uniform of the Commission's Leadership Council. "Admiring the change," he replied. 6 corrupt officials removed, new transparency protocols, environmental protection amendments. She moved beside him, her natural luminescence complementing the sunset. "Change you made possible." "We made possible," he corrected. "Your speech turned the tide." The past months had transformed the Concordat. With Colvin removed and facing criminal charges, Premier Vax had resigned in disgrace. The Quantium deposits were now being carefully extracted under strict ecological guidelines, with profits benefiting the entire Concordat rather than a corrupt few. The Veridian Council has asked me to extend an invitation, Thera said, her gill structures fluttering with what Darian now recognized as nervous anticipation. They're establishing an interspecies environmental monitoring program. They've requested you as Earth's representative. On Viridia, he asked, surprised by the offer. Yes, we would work closely together. Her silver-flecked eyes held his. Very closely if you wish it. The implications sent warmth through him. Their growing relationship had faced scrutiny from traditionalists on both worlds, but had also become a symbol of the new cooperation spreading throughout the Concordat. There are challenges, she continued softly. Our biologies are cultures. And possibilities no one has explored, he finished, reaching for her hands. The cool silk of her skin against his had become familiar, comforting. I've been researching human customs, she said. In particular, one called kissing, it seems, significant. Darian smiled. It is, though I'm not sure if Veridian physiology. I've consulted medical experts, she interrupted with endearing earnestness. They believe our biochemistries are compatible enough for brief contact. The setting suns cast their joined shadows across the polished floor, one human, one Veridian, yet perfectly aligned. Perhaps we should conduct our own research, he suggested, drawing her closer. As their lips met in a careful, experimental kiss, Darian felt the subtle electric tingle of her natural bioluminescence responding to their contact. When they separated, tiny points of light danced between them like miniature stars. A promising first result, she whispered, the blue flush deepening across her features. Beyond the window, representatives from dozens of worlds bustled through the plaza below, a Concordat transformed by one act of courage that had exposed corruption and kindled hope. And in that private moment above it all, two beings from distant worlds discovered that justice had unexpected rewards. To new beginnings, Darian said softly, as their silhouettes merged against the cosmic backdrop of endless possibility. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.